Hey, Captain Logos here, preacher at large, teaching the word and inspiring 3 minutes at a time. Hey, in Acts chapter 28, Paul's on his way to Rome, right? And they shipwreck on the island called Malta. Now think about this for a minute. Here's Paul imprisoned for preaching the gospel. So basically for nothing that he did besides doing what God told him to do, right? For preaching the gospel. The Jewish courts condemned him. He appealed, right? He went to Festus and Agrippa. So he went to two other courts. And now he's going to the Supreme Court. He appeals to Caesar. It's a Supreme Court because he's the supreme leader, Caesar, right? So he's on his final appeal. You'd think he would be getting frustrated and irritated and maybe cussing God and cursing God, saying, why me? But he's not. He's preaching the gospel. Right? So here he is in chains, bound. Right? He's now on his way to Caesar. So not only has he been imprisoned wrongly, not only has he lost 3 lower court rulings, and he's on his way to Caesar, he's been shipwrecked. The people wouldn't listen to him, and now they're shipwrecked. And oh, by the way, when he gets off the ship, and as the ship crashes and they all come to shore, he then gets bit by a viper and should have died. If that's not having a bad day and a bad week and a bad year, I don't know what is. But does Paul sit there and say, oh, why me, Lord? Why are you doing this to me? No. What is he doing? He's preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. Right? So he gets bit by the viper. Nothing happens to him. Other people are sick. He goes to the leader of that island. That leader is sick. He prays for him. He ministers to him. That person gets saved. And then a bunch of other people get saved because he was the leader. And they start following suit. So the question I have to ask you today is, when bad stuff is happening to you in your life, quit asking, why me, Lord? Paul didn't do that. Paul simply preached his way out of it. He ministered his way out of it. Maybe if we take a cue from Paul and begin to minister in the midst of what's going on in our life, God would move in our life and things would then get better. So there's the message for today. Quit moping in your situation and start ministering and see what God does through you because of your situation. Now, look at your face in the Bible.